Hey everyone! In our last video tutorial, we discussed how to insert a scanned template into AppSuite. Let us know in the comments section if you gave it a try. We'd love to hear your feedback. In this video tutorial, we will talk about the workflow steps. Before I discussed the workflow steps, I would like to give you a quick summary of the workflow. With workflow, you can digitalize companies' internal forms while reducing the usage of paper. The approvers can manage them anytime, even if they are outside, to ensure the application's flow is not stopped. Going back, to set up workflow steps, you must have a form created in either AppSuite or Workflow. In this instance, we'll use the form we created in the last video, where we inserted the scanned template. So here in my demo environment, you'll have to click the Workflow application. Then click the gear icon. Under the Application Form Management, find the application form Title, Forms, Steps, Settings. Click the drop-down. Find the category and click the desired form. Scroll down and click the Workflow steps. As you can see here, you will find different types of workflow: the user, group, role, approver group, belonging group, applicant, branch condition, and arbitrary user. In this case, we will only talk about the user and group. In the user steps, you only need to select the specific approver. This is one of the simplest routes in the workflow steps. However, this option is only applicable if your department or organization has the same approvers for a specific workflow, regardless of the applicants. When an applicant submits an application, it will be directed to the designated form receiver based on the selected approver in the workflow steps settings. You can easily monitor how's the progress of your application. Going back, drag the user from the right side and drop. Next, select the user status. Click the specific approver, then OK. Once dragged, you will see the name of the approver on the screen. You can see the type of workflow steps under the approver. Kindly click it. You have the option to choose and change if this user is an approver, authorizer, or verifier. If you want to add another approver, you just need to drag another user again and drop. Once you've finished setting up the workflow steps, click the Update button, and it will then be routed to the approver once the applicant sends an application. We are finished with the user steps. Now let's move on to the group steps. The chosen group will be responsible for approving the form. Simply drag the group and drop it. Then, select the approver group. Once selected, you will find various options and settings under the approver group. You can set the approver, approval condition, and remand to on the approval condition screen. Try to click the users belonging to Group Approve, All Users. You must configure the approval condition according to your specific requirements. So, under the approver, you will select only All Users if all the users who belong to the group are the approvers, or you can just add a specific user. Let's try it on our environment. Let's choose All Users. Then approval condition. When an applicant applies, it will be directed to all users based on the selected group approver in the workflow step settings. All of the members of the group will receive the application at the same time. If more than 50% of approvers approve, you will select this. If you need more than half, approvers will approve the application. More than or equal to 50% of approvers. You only need half of the users to verify or approve the workflow. Once you set up these steps, when an applicant submits their application, only half of the users or approvers can approve it, but all of them can receive it. This means that the first user who sees the application can approve it. After half approvers have approved it, the application will no longer be visible to those who haven't approved it. Or this option, which is more than or equal to one approver approve. But again, just for a reminder, even if you select the second, third, or fourth option, all users within that group, role, or selected group, and a group of internal approvers should be able to receive it, but not all can approve it. Then remand when at least one person has disapproved. Then decide if you want this application to be remanded to the previous approver. The applicant or the current approver will choose where to remand it. Now let's try it out in my environment. In this case, we will select first, all approvers will approve. Go to the dashboard, click on the workflow, create the application, and then locate the specific form that has already been set up. Remember to complete the required information and then confirm the created content. You can review the list of approvers under the workflow steps. These individuals will be the approvers of the form once you click on Create. All of the users belonging to that group will receive the application. They will be notified in the notification bar here at the top of the environment. Then just click it, and it will be routed to the applications waiting for approval. The approvers will have the option to approve, disapprove, and remand the application. If the approvers identify missing information, they can remand it to request the necessary details before giving their approval. Once the approvers have granted their approval, the form will be time and date stamped to capture the moment of approval. Next, users belonging to group in Role Approve. For users in the Role Approval group, only select this option if you have already set up a role approver. To set up role management, go to the dashboard, click the setup icon in the admin account, and then navigate to the role management under Role Settings. Click Create Role. Enter a role name, for example, Managers. Add any optional remarks. Select User or Group, and then choose all the managers from each department. After selecting all the managers, click OK, and then Create. That's how you create and register role management. In my demo environment, I have created 2 roles, supervisors and managers. All the supervisors and managers are registered there, regardless of their departments. If I select the supervisors or managers from a role, it doesn't mean all supervisors in the company will receive the approval form. Only the supervisors or managers under the selected group, such as the marketing department, will receive it. And this is how you register for role management. Then we will now go back to the workflow steps. In here, kindly select the desired condition. Now let's try it out in my environment. Go to the dashboard, click on the workflow, create the application, and then locate the specific form that has already been set up. Remember to complete the required information and then confirm the created content. You can review the list of approvers under the workflow steps. In this case, there's only one approver, even if we select all approvers approve, because only the marketing manager is listed on the role management under the marketing department. Let's move forward to workflow administrators to approve selected groups. To do this, you need to specify who will manage the selected group. To set this up, go to the workflow settings and then to the current settings. Click on Manage Applications for the selected groups. Choose Unspecified to ensure that applications created by users in the selected group are subject to management. When you assign a specific user to manage a selected group, that user will become an administrator for that group rather than just an approver. They will have access to manage and view all applications submitted under that group. They have the capability to download, send back, cancel, force complete, and delete the application, but only for the selected group. To proceed, first select the user's role, then choose a user. For instance, under the Marketing department, let's select the Marketing Manager. After that, under the Manage group, click on All, then select the specific group and choose the Marketing department. You can select multiple users by repeating the process of selecting User Role and then choosing the specific user. That's how you set the workflow administrators to approve selected groups. Let's go back to the workflow steps. In the Group Internal Approvers section, you will find a list of individuals who are designated as approvers for the group when the primary approver is unavailable. To assign internal approvers to the group, navigate to the Settings and access the Group Internal Approvers settings under Application Management. Here, you will see a comprehensive list of departments and users. You can then select the appropriate user for each group to serve as an internal approver. For instance, to designate the Marketing Manager, an internal approver, simply select the individual and click Assign to Group Internal Approver. Confirm by clicking Yes, and you will see the designation reflected by the On status alongside the Marketing Manager's name. Now let's try it out in my environment. Go to the dashboard, click on the workflow, create the application, and then locate the specific form that has already been set up. Remember to complete the required information and then confirm the created content. You can review the list of approvers under the workflow steps. As you can see, these are the users or approvers that we selected and assigned earlier. That concludes the user step and group step. If you have any questions or need further clarification, feel free to reach out to us. In the upcoming video tutorial, we will cover the role, approver group, applicant, and arbitrary user steps. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.